Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. It's Rob here in front of the great wall of comics. It's another Thursday, and that means it's time to dig in some more of Only My Slabs. And we are back. More slabs, another dozen slabs. It's time for some fun as we're getting into the ASM box. There's not just one ASM box. Obviously, there's more. I mean, I do have 100 Amazing Spider-Man Silver Age slabs. They don't fit in one box, but we're getting into the first box today. Gonna kick it off. Let's go, baby. First out of the gate, Huntress, number 1 in a 9.8. I did pick this up raw a while back. This book actually climbed up pretty high at one point. This book was selling for over $200 during the peak COVID times, as we like to call them. Come back down to earth now, but still a good book to have. Huntress number 1, if you're, at least if you're in the Bat family. I don't know why I say good book to have. I mean, it's a nice book to have if you're into DC, if you're in the Bat family stuff. Here we have the origin and first appearance of the new Huntress, Helena Bertinelli. Of course, you know, there was a previous Huntress, but this is the one that's in the main DC universe there. Helena Bertinelli, the Huntress, first issue. Boom. This book I picked up a long time ago. This was an eBay buy very early in my slab collecting. This is The Shadow, number 1. I know this is very early in my collecting because it's a 9.2. It's not a book that's an expensive book, but for me at the time, it was. The funny thing about collecting comics is the longer you're in it, where you spend, what you're willing to spend on a book increases. Hopefully your budget does too, or at least you're staying within budget. But anyways, what I used to think was an expensive book is now, I think, of an affordable book, sadly. This is one of those very affordable books. I don't even think today at 9.2 sells for less than, it's probably less than $100 or right around that. This is from 1973. So realistically, that makes this book over 50 years old, but it's a readily, easily book to come by. And if I were to buy it today, I'd probably be picking up a 9.6 or something. 9.2 white pages. First DC appearance of the Shadow. We got Shrevey, Margot Lane, and Harry Vincent. So their first appearance in DC Comics. This is obviously an old CGC slab as well. Noted white pages though. So, yeah. And the last book from this box, before we hit the ASM box, we have from the 2020 launch. Wow, this is from 2020 already? Unknown Comics Virgin variant exclusive for Wolverine number 1, featuring Wolverine plunging headfirst at a Sentinel. No, not the easiest to see here because of the not only the bag that's over it, but just the way the art is and the glare and everything else. It's kind of a muted color tone. Minor key, as I recall, but nothing noted on this particular label. Okay, banger alert time. Banger! Let's just pop or drop it. Bang. What? How do we go from Wolverine to Amazing Spider-Man number 6? Number 6. First appearance of the Lizard, baby. Yeah, look at that. Look how the Lizard looked back then. Purple purple coat, purple pants. You got Stanley Story, Steve Ditko cover and art. Amazing Spider-Man 6 from 1963. The origin and first appearance of the Lizard, Dr. Kurt Connors. Purple pants, purple jacket. And after issue 6, meh. How about issue 7? Second appearance. This is our second appearance in Amazing Spider-Man. Well, that's not true. I guess Amazing Spider-Man 1 had the second appearance of Spider-Man. But, I mean, of any of the villains, this is the first time we get a repeat villain here in issue 7 with the Vulture returning. The Vulture making his first appearance in issue 2. And here we get issue 7 with his first appearance. Boom. Here is Spider-Man as you like him. Fighting, joking, daring, challenging the most dangerous foe of all in this Marvel age of comics. Now, this book has prominently, it's a 3/5, but prominently it has, you can see a crease that runs all the way down the middle of the book. This is what we refer to in comics as a subscription crease. The reason we refer to it as that is that this book generally would have been in this particular case, we're speculating this book was ordered on subscription, just like you would a magazine. You have a subscription every single month. They send it directly to your home. And the way that Marvel would, and DC Comics for that matter, sent books to you in your home was they folded the comics in half, and then they slipped them into an envelope and mailed them out. Hence the subscription crease. Now, a book with a subscription crease, even if there were no other flaws with this book, the maximum grade you're going to get is like a 5/5. That's just the way it is because you have a 7-inch long crease down the middle of the book, and it affects every single page. So the fact that technically they only ding us to a 5/5 is kind of generous, I suppose. Obviously, here we also have some Marvel chipping and stuff around the edges and corners, but all in all, this is a very good presenting copy and a great, probably on the higher end of what you would see in a 3/5. Another 3/5. How about issue 8? Here we got the Spider-Man tackles with the Human Torch. We have the first appearance of the Living Brain. Yep, first appearance of the Living Brain, and a Fantastic Four appearance in the backup story. So, there we go. Peter Parker fights with Flash Thompson. What? And it's kind of interesting that the Living Brain's design hasn't really changed a lot, because we saw him, Living Brain, again recently in the last volume, I think, even. So every once in a while it pops up. It is a recurring character. It's got some legs. And then this is a book I want to upgrade. I'm not happy. I was very disappointed with the grade when it came back. And part of the problem is the cover became detached during pressing with my old presser. But this is issue 10. We're not simply going every single issue. I got some other issues like, where's number 9? Number 9's in a different box. It's kind of like as I got them and filled them in. So anyway, 1.8. Ugh. Anything less than a 2, once I get to, I'd like to get this about a 3, 3.5 like the others. I'd be fine with that. In those first 10 books, I'd like them all to, ideally, I'd love to get them all over a 2. So yeah, this one, these next couple I have are kind of on the low grade side. That I'm not ashamed of them. I have them. They're ASM books. This is from 1964. Again, art by Steve Ditko. This is the first appearance of Big Man and the Enforcers. But yeah, obviously we got a massive water stain here on the front side. When you go to the back here, you'll see there is chunk missing at the back here, and you can start to see some other issues there where the cover's actually detached from this book, and missing some more pieces. So yeah, makes me sad. But at the same time, I'm happy because I do have the first 100 issues all graded. So just some of them are poor, like this one, Amazing Spider-Man 11. I love this picture image. Now this presents very well for a 1.5 from if you look at this part. Obviously we have some issues here, but if you haven't seen it, we have a missing corner up here, and that is why this book really takes a beating. And we have a little bit of missing cover back here as well. So this book definitely took a beating, but it does present very well. So if you're a low grade collector, and again, I'm not a high grade collector. Low grade is better than no grade, as is the fact that I wanted to make sure I had my run. Boom, I picked it up. Now I can make those decisions. Do I want to upgrade this book? And this is probably one of those books I want to upgrade, just because I really like Doc Ock and I like this cover. It's a good cover, so I'll eventually upgrade it. And I would be fine to upgrade it to, like this one, issue 12, the next book in the series, to a 3.0. I'm very fine with a 3.0. I don't need to have necessarily a 5.0, 10, or 7, or anything like that. I'm very fine with this 3.0. It presents well. The book is complete. It's all there. Here we have the third appearance of Doc Ock and the first J. Jonah Jameson cover, along with a letter from Dave Cockrum inside. So this book, I'm trying to think. I think we just have a lot of spine stresses and creases and stuff for the most part. We don't really have any significant damages of anything. God, I almost feel like this book could benefit. Did I buy this book raw? No, probably not. I think I must have sent this in, but it looks like it could use a press. Like a press could help it. I don't know. I'll have to look up the grader's notes and see. Maybe this is a book I can upgrade just by simply having it cracked and pressed and redone. All right. One of the latter books when I was working on my 1 through 100 run, one of the last books I picked up is a book that I had to wait for because it was an expensive book. And this one here is one of those, and I'm thrilled. I mean, it's Amazing Spider-Man 13, first appearance Mysterio. Obviously, this was a book that went boom up through the roof when we had the movie come out with Mysterio. Now, this is if this was a CGC, it could have a blue label and be graded as such. Anyways, so this has notes on it. It says first appearance and origin of Mysterio, Quentin Beck. It also states that this is from the DNA collection. Not sure what the DNA collection is, but it's from the DNA collection. And it has a piece missing from the last page that does not affect the story. So inside, there's a piece missing, doesn't affect story. So, no. But that's predominantly why it's a 3.0. Because, I mean, it has a solid spine. It's not missing any chunks on the front and back. Yeah, we have some dirt, we have some grime, we have some shadow masking. But otherwise, it's generally a good presenting copy that you would expect to be potentially a little bit higher. Now, a book that is not higher. This is a rough book. And it is worse now than it was when I got it. I bought this book raw. Matter of fact, I was at the Berkeley Comic Show, and I was flipping through a box. Gentleman had a box of comics, and I think we were tagged like 25% off or 50% off. And I'm flipping through them, and I found this book in that bin, and I was thrilled to have it because it was another book in the collection. And then I sent it in again to get it cleaned and pressed. Now, this is the problem with really bad low-grade books. Sometimes you're better off just sending it in and have it, if you want to have it graded the way it is. Don't try to clean and press it, because realistically, I wasn't going to gain, there's so many creases on this book. I wasn't going to gain anything from a grade standpoint of that aspect, but I ended up doing damage. And this, you can see this cover now, it is not only chunked here, but you can see just here, it is, even from the front, you can see it's just kind of coming apart. And on the back side, again, you can see that cover is just, there's no spine. We're missing cover chunks down here. Unfortunately, this is more on the back, but I mean, it is not good. And we're missing. We got cover roll. We've got a name written down there. Who is this? We've got Sammy something or other. But anyways, the cover down here, you can see, look, it's rounded. The pages are not. There's little pieces missing. This is bad. Look at all those stress lines. So this is a super low grade book. Now, even as a low grade book, it is still the first appearance of Craven. It is complete. It is also the second appearance of the Chameleon, and the first time Mary Jane Watson is mentioned. It's Mary Jane Key. So from that aspect alone, I'm super happy. I mean, I think I paid like $100 for the book. Now, it's not by any stretch of imagination my best that I've ever gotten, but it was super inexpensive for what it was, especially for what the book was selling for at the time. I'm going to have to look to upgrade this book. And then the last book for today, this book I'm absolutely thrilled. My good friend Beckerman, who is also the our official understudy for Chris when he's not able to attend Only Slabs. Beckerman, absolute gem of a gentleman, tons and tons of comics and comic knowledge and art and everything else. He A-okayed this book to me, blew my mind. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue 16. Absolute insane. I'm forever. I thank you, sir. Awesome. I'm super happy with this. It looks good. I mean, it does have on the back side, there's cover chipping, and obviously the spine is not perfectly aligned on the front, but it's a great, I mean, I'm not even sure why, to be honest, from looking at it. There must be something else going on. It's not abundantly clear why this is a 2.5. It definitely looks like a much better book. There's not a lot of spine creases or color breaks on the front cover at all. It just presents extremely well. So again, this will be another one of those, I've never actually really paused to think about it until just now as to why it is the way it is. And I'll have to take a look at the grader's notes to see what's going on. Also in this book, apparently, it says, the notes say early Daredevil cover appearance, first crossover, and second appearance. Oh, it's the first crossover between the two. And then it is the second appearance of Ringmaster and the Circus of Crime. And we know it's an early Daredevil because he's still wearing the banana suit. Something that he very quickly got rid of in the first few issues of Daredevil. It also says on the back here, full page ad for Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1 and Marvel Tales #1. So, there you go. And that's going to do it for this episode of Only My Slabs. Wow, bangers. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. These books here, should I even worry about upgrading those books, or should I just move on? Guys, until next time, you collect what you want. Don't listen to anybody, including me. I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.